Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about X-Men Days of Future Past. And this movie came out in 2014 and is directed by Bryan Singer and has all the same cast as the original X-Men movies and the newer X-Men movies-ish, like X-Men First Class specifically and the original trilogy. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very well handled and it was very entertaining to watch. It was cheesy for sure, but it was never boring for me, and for a movie that's just over 2 hours, I didn't feel as though it was dragging at any particular scene, and I like the characters in the movie, and I think they're well-defined characters, even if they are kind of simple. They're still fun and interesting to watch, and the performances are really good, especially from like Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and of course Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. They're great as well. And everyone from the original films I really like, and the newer-ish films, like, it's not really new anymore, but from X-Men First Class, I liked Jennifer Lawrence. I thought she was fine in it. I liked her a bit better when she wasn't talking. I thought she was a bit better because, like, she does get a little annoying after a while, and it kind of has to do with her character in ways. I'm struggling to get behind her in certain scenes, but for the most part, I thought she was fine. And Peter Dinklage, I thought he was really good. I enjoyed the action scenes whenever we did get action sequences. It's not like my favorite stuff in the movie, but it's entertaining and it's never like poorly handled, and it's very spread out. And my favorite action sequence is like the one with Quicksilver. That stuff I liked a lot in the movie, and Quicksilver, I thought he was a really good character, even if he's in the movie for like 10 minutes. He's still fun to watch, and I liked where the story went with this movie, and this movie also had to do a lot, and I'm glad that it came out good because it was trying to like go back in time and fix everything, and it kind of erases like some of the bad stuff from this franchise, but in return it kind of gave it a soft new direction, or like a lack of a better term, like a bright future that maybe we could have been really great. But sadly, now that we know what came out after this movie, they didn't really do a whole lot with it. So one of my least favorite parts about this movie would be the music. I just didn't feel it as though it did the film any benefits. Like, I can barely remember it. And in X-Men First Class, like, the only thing musically I can remember is Magneto's theme. Although it was spammed in that movie, at least I remember it. Unlike this movie where I can remember literally no music. Luckily, this is one of those movies where it doesn't really rely on the music working, as in like that's the only thing that's holding the movie together. It's everything but the music, which is a little sad because the music is what's dragging the movie down, because it's just so forgettable, and it might as well just not be in the movie at all. And I think the movie would have been much better without it. And also, I thought some of the special effects looked kind of weird towards the end. And I thought the Sentinels, whenever they were shown at night, they looked much better. But when they were in broad daylight, they looked kind of goofy. And they didn't really feel like they were part of the environment. There were some flashback sequences in this movie to earlier X-Men movies that I felt didn't need to be in the movie at all. And I just felt as though it could have been a little bit shorter because of those things. Like, just cut some of those things out. Like, you don't really need them. They're not, like, a huge part of the movie. Like, what I mean by that, they don't take up a whole lot of time. But at the same time, you don't really need them because everything else works on its own. Like, you can just remove those, like, flashback sequences and you wouldn't really lose anything. And this movie does have quite a bit of heart to it, and it has scenes that are genuinely powerful, and they work on an emotional level, and there's lots of really good scenes in this movie that I really like, and it's just people talking that I really like. And in any other movie, it would feel either Oscar baity or just shoved in and forced, but these characters are very well established, and because of that and what the story is showing you, or at least keeping you up to speed, because between X-Men First Class and this movie, when it takes place in the 70s, 10 years have passed, and the movie has to catch you up on what's happened between then and now. I do feel as though the movie did a great job at handling all of those things, and my only other criticism with this movie would be the ending. It just doesn't really work for me, and from memory, it kind of comes into play in the next one, X-Men Apocalypse, and just knowing where that goes, I'm just confused as to what actually happens. I'm gonna have to rewatch X-Men Apocalypse to really know what happens, how where this movie left off comes into play with that movie. Overall, this is a very solid X-Men movie that I thoroughly enjoyed rewatching, and if you've seen all the X-Men movies up until this point, then I think you'll really enjoy this one. So definitely check this movie out if you haven't already, and with all that being said, I'm going to give X-Men Days of Future Past a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of X-Men Days of Future Past, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up. And before I announce that, I do have to mention, sorry for the lack of videos lately. I try to upload every single day, but lately that hasn't been happening because I've been busy, and also I went to the art museum in Portland to see all the sets, and I'm terrible with words, but basically it was for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and I was like, oh, I would like to see all this, and I got to go, and it was great. I really loved going there, and it was really cool to see all the sets and models and stuff and everything that was created for the movie, and it was very interesting and a lot of fun to watch. Oh, sorry, see. So that's would have been one of the few things I've done, and also shortly I'll post some pictures on my Instagram of me actually being there, and I'll be sure to share some of that with you guys. So anyways, going back to what I'm going to be watching next, my next review is going to be for Scream 6. Haven't seen this yet, so I just picked up the Blu-ray because I want to own all of the Scream movies. Now I have all the Scream movies on physical media at this point. And also, to prepare for this, I'm also going to be rewatching Scream 5, or 5 Cream, or Scream, yeah, whatever. I like saying 5 Cream, but, it's just me. So, look forward to my review of Scream 6 and possibly some updated thoughts on the 5th movie in that same video. So, anyways, look forward to all of that, but until I get all of that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.